What's up, guys? Cody here with another support tier list for 11.5. As many of you know, if you watch my videos, I like to wait a couple of days before I post my tier list for the patch, just because I like to see how different changes pan out and how the meta shifts slightly. So, yeah, for the most part, not a whole lot of shifts and changes here. So starting in D tier, the only notable one I'm going to talk about is Zilean. Zilean as a support is not good. His best thing is the fact that he has a speed boost, and he has his ultimate, which acts as a GA. He has really poor laning phase though, and doesn't provide a lot of damage, and laning phase is going to be a big deal of what's going to influence the game for the most part. And yeah, if you're not doing anything early game to win the lane or to impact the game state, then you're just waiting to be carried, pretty much. In C tier, I moved Maokai up, and AP Maokai is okay, but I think mostly just tank Maokai is why I moved him up. He's a good pick for low elo just because he can very easily get on somebody. It's just point and click CC. But yeah, outside of low elo, I would not recommend playing. Set, I can move down. I still think Set's good. It's just that his win rate keeps falling, and I think that's just mostly because people don't understand how to play him. He is more niche, I would say, and definitely not as good as some of the higher picks. But I still do enjoy playing a Set, as if you play him well, he can very easily abuse the enemy bot laners. The one champion I want to note here is Tarik, though. Tarik, if the meta becomes less burstier, if there's less just upfront damage in the meta, Tarik is going to become a goddamn menace. He's already somehow got a good win rate right now, and I don't really understand that. I think it must be because of people doing the duo strat with Yi or something. I don't know. But Tarik right now, his biggest flaw is that everything he does is too slow. But if the champions in the meta end up becoming less burstier, and fights end up becoming slower, then Tarik is going to become very strong. So do keep your eye out on that. D tier, we have Karma and Pike, which got the changes. They haven't moved from B tier though. So the change to Karma just lowered her cooldown of her Q by 1 second. That doesn't change most matchups though. It does allow you to be more aggressive into melee matchups, but it generally if you're playing an enchanter, you're just not really doing a whole lot, in my opinion, because you're relying on your team way too much. And yeah, I think it was more of a buff for Karma in other lanes, just because I don't see Karma support just being that great. Karma support just doesn't have as much range as other enchanters as well on top of that. So he didn't really do much. As for Pike, Pike suffers from the snowball syndrome, or whatever you want to call it. But if he's ahead, man, is Pike goddamn deadly. If he's behind, if his team is behind, goddamn, is Pike so useless. And I'm saying this to somebody that has logged tons and tons and tons of hours on Pike, and actually might be my most played right now in terms of mastery points. But yeah, Pike right now is if your team is behind, then you just can't do anything. You can't get in, you can't get picks, and yeah, you're not playing somebody like Thresh or Blitzcrank or someone with an actual hook that can make use of the hook. You're not playing with somebody with hard CC to force fights. You're not even playing an enchanter to peel for your team. You're playing an assassin. And when you're behind, that's just not what you want. So Pike is just very inconsistent. And I think right now, with out of the games that I was playing with him, I think right now the best way to play Pike is to take every single kill you can. Because Pike does win lane, hands down. It's very it's very rare that a good Pike player will lose lane unless like his ADC is just bad, which can happen. But normally Pikes will just outright win lane just because Pike is that strong. So if you want to have a better chance at closing out the game properly, I think you should just take every kill on Pike, get your items super fast, and just say screw it to everybody else, because that's what you're already doing by picking Pike. You're saying I'm going to be the carry of this game, and you're not going to protect your ADC whatsoever. So in A tier, Rel got moved down to A tier, and Braum got moved up from, I think, C tier, actually. So Braum is a bit of recency bias for me. I was playing a couple games with him, and oh boy, was he strong. Granted, I think Braum does suffer against range matchups. I think if the opponents know how to abuse their range advantage, then it can become very problematic. But overall, I think Braum does well against a lot of meta picks right now. He has good utility for, you know, being a tank and whatnot, and he's just very reactive in what he does and how he plays. And for whatever reason, he just felt really strong when I was playing him. So I moved him up to A tier. Maybe he should be in B tier, but I am gonna keep him here for now. And then Rel got moved down from S tier just because the nerfs. Honestly, it's just Rel kind of has the same issue Pike has, where you do need to be snowballing to actually like have any impact. With Rel, you're making a lot of your plays by flash engaging, and if your team is behind, they're not going to be able to follow up properly. So yeah, Rel still does have a good laning phase, but if the enemy kind of plays back, then it doesn't matter. So Rel is just more dependent on her team than other champions, and the nerfs definitely don't help her. And then the reason why all these enchanters are in here and not S tiers is because I think if you're playing an enchanter, you're not impacting the game as much as if you were playing something else. I give them the credit that other people give them by putting them in A tier, but yeah, I think they're just easily abused. Then S tier, Alistar, Leona, Thresh, Bard. These are kind of self-explanatory. Alistar, Leona are the best engaged supports in the game for team fights and whatnot, outside of Rel, who once again does rely on her team more than these two do. Hex slash Alistar is just very strong, allowing Hex slash Alistar with phase rush, very strong, and allows you to make a lot of plays during the laning phase and be very aggressive. And Leona has her long range ult with pretty reliable CC on top of that. But Thresh and Bard are by far the kings of support right now, mostly Bard though. Thresh does play better into certain situations than Bard. Thresh can, more often than not, better control the lane than Bard in most matchups. But Bard has insane roam value and insane outplay value. He's just very flexible in terms of what he can do and where he can be at all times and whatnot. And just honestly, if you're a good Bard player, play Bard, because you'll just carry games. And then yeah, Thresh is just best champion right now outside of that. Yeah. So yeah, like I said, not much has changed. And if there's not that much impactful changes, then I'm going to skip the next patch. Just because I don't feel like making a video that's the same thing as before. I don't like that, which is why I skipped the previous patch. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, give the video a like and subscribe for more content and whatnot. I do stream over on Twitch, twitch.tv/CW5136. Link will be in the description below. You can go over there and watch me kick ass on support. I do stream most evenings, for the most part, most evenings. And then on top of that, if you have any questions that like regarding support or whatnot, regarding the game and want any advice and whatnot, you head over there when I'm streaming, and I'd be glad to answer that. And you can also inquire at my business email if you want any personal coaching from me. But otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.